So we're back on site. It's mid-September. I'm Emily Tracy, this is John Murray, and we're here to give you an update since we were last here. So there's been some significant progress. It's been almost 2 months since we were last here. Do you want to tell us about what's been happening?
Absolutely. Lots of things happening now. 8 weeks, a long time. The site's incredibly busy. I'm told there's about 150 workers on the site at the moment between the two buildings. And there's a variety of different activities going on in parallel now. The buildings are becoming increasingly watertight. The structure is being finished, brickwork's being laid, but at the same time we're now getting the infrastructure services are going in. So the first fix of the electrics are going in at the moment, plumbing work, drainage works continuing. So it's a real hive of activity with lots of overlapping strands of work going on at the same time.
That's great. I think for the next part of the talk, we're going to go into the building as well to show you what's been happening there. We are now on the second floor of the BGS wing, and we can see quite a lot of the progress that John was talking about outside. Do you want to tell us what we can see now, but also what's going to be happening in the future?
Yeah, where we are now, Emily, we're looking down the internal staircase of the BGS wing. As you said, we're on floor 2. We've got floor 1 and ground floor down beneath us. We've got quite a nice viewpoint down. You can see the work which is being done on the windows, the glazing's going in. What we can also see on the floor below us is the underfloor heating system is just being installed at the moment. That will eventually be covered by concrete screed, as we've got on this floor here. Internally, what we're beginning to see now is the structure within the BGS wing. So we've got a number of meeting rooms at both ends of this floor, which will be the case on each of the BGS floors. Services are going in now. Guys are up here putting electrical cable in, boxing in the trunking. So yeah, we're getting down into fine detail now, fine finishing of the building.
There's been a lot of BGS people on site today.
Absolutely. It's really busy on site this afternoon, not just with Morrison's workers, but also with BGS visitors. We've had some of our IT team here, local IT team, also some colleagues from the IT team down at Nottingham headquarters. And what they're looking at now, the rooms are being formed, the partitions for the meeting rooms. They're here specifically to look at the detail of where IT infrastructure, things like the smart boards, associated PCs and cabling will need to go in each of the meeting rooms. So again, we're now drawing in more people over time to look at specific aspects of the fitting out of the building.
Do you want to tell us about this building and how, if we're on track and the schedule of the build?
Yeah, absolutely. We're still on track. Everything is going as it should be. This building, Building 1, as we're now calling it, we're expecting to have this handed over to us in the middle of January next year. What we will be doing then is, again, the IT people will be involved. We'll be running the trunking around, carrying all the data and the telephony system. We're also just about to place the furniture order. So there'll be 150 plus desks and associated storage going into these areas, and we'll have to match all that up with the IT cabling. All that will be happening after we get handover of the building and before we move the staff in. So that activity will be taking place from mid-January through to beginning of February, approximately.
And any updates on a relocation pack for BGS staff?
Yes, I've been talking to people back in the office. We're starting to get to the stage now where we need to give people some real hard information about coming to work here, about what they'll find in the building, what facilities there are in the building, how they get here, how they get to the campus, but also importantly as well, the wide range of facilities and amenities there are across the campus here at Riccarton. So I've been talking to colleagues in communications and HR about pulling together a kind of welcome briefing pack for staff, which we hope to have available just before Christmas.
We mentioned earlier that there was some BGS people walking around the building today. I'm here with Bob Gatliff and Ian Pheasant to kind of give us their first impressions. Bob, what do you think? It's the first time we've interviewed you on the comms videos. What about the main building?
Main building's coming on. I was only here 2 weeks ago, and it's already, the floors have gone in, and it's quite exciting to stand where I'm going to sit, and it's, blimey, it really is coming very quickly, and it's great.
I've noticed there's a big difference too between the Heriot-Watt wings and the BGS wings.
Yes.
It's mainly to do with the columns, I think, and it looks like we've got a lot more floor space on our side because of where they've moved the columns.
Well, they've got lots of labs going in on their side, and they've got some open plan areas and some smaller offices for professors, but the rest of it is mainly laboratories, so that's why they've got all those
differences.
containers in. Yes. So
And the core area is looking pretty dramatic as well.
yes, it'd be good when they've got the glass on the top floor, where you can see out over Edinburgh through the trees.
Through the trees.
But it doesn't give the right impression yet because it's all boarded up.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Go back in a couple of weeks and see it. It'd be fantastic.
And Ian, what are you thinking about the support building?
It's moving on really well, yeah. The main big cranes are in, so that's a big lift and stuff done. So it's now cladding out and fitting out the rest of the building, so it should come on fairly quickly, I think, now.
And I didn't realise the height was going to be so dramatic as well, and it's different between the two wings. Why is that?
I think it's brought a lot of people by surprise. The reason that our main building is so high is for fitting the crane in and some of their equipment underneath that.
Yeah.
You need quite a large clearance for putting the launch and recovery system for RD2. So RD2 will be able to be built up inside the building and then deployed outside one of the bay doors.
We are now standing in the marine operations wing of the support building. I'm here with John, Ian and Bob, and we're just going to ask a couple questions about progress. Since the last time we were here, the roof has gone up. There's quite a lot of work that's been behind us with the gantry cranes. What's been happening recently?
In the main office, actually, now that the concrete floor's been laid and they've put a lot of cladding up, so the main open plan office for marine operations it's coming on at a pace, so you can actually see where desks and stuff will go in now. And now we've got a seating plan for the second building. We've certainly moved on there.
And we've got differences between the two wings. This is the marine operations. What's in the wing over there, Bob?
That's the photographers and the data storage and the cold storage and 3 wings for Heriot-Watt, which looks as though it's going to be engineering type materials and experimental labs in there.
And what is happening in the near future, John? What is progress that's going to be happening the next month or so?
It'll be really, Emily, it'll be a continuation of what you're seeing now. As we saw in building number 1, the main building earlier, we've got structural work continuing but nearing completion now, but also the first kind of fix of internal fittings. I expect to see fairly soon, we'll start to see the first fix of electrics going into this building as well. But partitioning work basically at the moment. Obviously we've got the floors in, we're standing here for the first time on the first floor. The building hasn't been enclosed yet, but I expect the cladding to start going on the outside of the building over the next 2 or 3 weeks, so the building will start to become enclosed.
And Ian, do you just want to quickly, we've got such a nice shot here, explain what's going on behind us?
They're now digging up the level on the floor to put the heated flooring down in the main workshop area. And you can see behind us the main workshop doors. The one high door at the far end will be where when RD2 is built up to simulate being on a vessel, we can then launch the drill in and out of the main door. And above that's the large 40-ton gantry crane that's used to lift the containers when we're loading out the systems before we're taking them offshore. Further back from that, we've got their test tank, which is 4 metres wide and 8 metres deep. They're putting RD2 and some of the vibrocoolers in to test them before they go on offshore projects.
And just one last question really, is everything on track? How is the timing looking for progress?
Yeah, it's still on track. I think, as I've reported several times before, we're hoping to get this building handed over to us just before Christmas.
Okay.
I've been in discussion with Ian and with other stakeholders in this building to start to think about the sequence of getting all the kit in, getting all the individuals in. We'll be bringing the furniture over from Murchison House for the office over here, so that's quite a simple task. So we're really going to crack on now with planning the occupation of this building between now and Christmas. Start to do that straight after the New Year in January.
I think it's going to be really good. It's the first time we've had these guys on the same site as we have, and they'll be working with the seismology engineers and they'll be working with the geomag engineers and we'll be working with Heriot-Watt engineers, and it could be really exciting. It's great to see it coming together.
Okay. Well, thanks very much. That's all today. We'll see you next time.